What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Cruising to the White Sox game with my dog, Melvin, back in town from Hawaii. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's talk about it. So, Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? So, look, we were talking about if the Boston Celtics come back down from 3-0, would that be the biggest meltdown for a sports team ever? What's in basketball? I keep it in there, right? And I say yes. I don't care what seed they are, personally. I don't care that they got in and they were a play-in team. Once you get that far and you up 3 games, you're supposed to win one more game. You can win one more game. I don't care what they're talking about. I don't care what the talent is on the roster or whatever. You're supposed to be able to win one more game once you go up that big. Especially when y'all tell me Jimmy Butler is the second coming, when he deserves a statue over LeBron James, and his legacy is bigger than LeBron James in Miami now, and he's up there with Dwayne Wade. Once you say shit like that, dude gotta come and deliver. I don't care. You know what I mean? But what you think, Melvin?
Now, just to put this in perspective, being up 3-0 in the major sports, obviously, you guys know about the Boston Red Sox doing it against
New York Yankees, yes.
And it happened a couple of times in hockey, but never in a game of basketball. And like you said, like a week ago, you guys was arguing about the legacy. People were asking if Jimmy Butler was Hall of Fame. Again, let that sink in. People were asking Jimmy Butler Hall of Fame. Me personally, Chicago Bulls fan to the core, I cannot tell you how much I dislike Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah,
as you guys say.
And see, we misliked dude for a lot of reasons. We're gonna get into that in a minute. But I think this is the biggest meltdown. Like you said, right now, Jason Tatum and them, you think that they up. They got all the momentum in the series to me. And I think now that they bringing it back home, I think they can deliver. I think the confidence is high, especially after you win a game like you won the last game.
I think the Boston Celtics are going to wake up, and the game should be maybe a couple hours from now as we speak. They're waking up in Boston. They're feeling fine. Hopefully, they're not too relaxed. I think the role players for the Miami Heat it's finally starting to get in their head. Like, this is the most pressure moment they've been in. They say they've been in a lot of situations like this, but you're one game away from the NBA Finals. It ain't no pressure like this.
Different type of pressure.
I think it's going to come down. I think it's going to be a close game probably throughout. There's going to be runs on both sides. Yeah. Probably the biggest lead will be 10 by Boston. I think the Miami Heat might go up 8. I think the Miami Heat is going to come out. They need a great start to stay in this game. However, I just think talent-wise, I think Game 7 comes down. Obviously, both of these teams wanted more, right? They both won 3 games on both sides. It's going to come down to, I think, Game 7 comes down to talent.
Yes, the talent is what, and I think at this point, and I said this, and there's no disrespect to the Miami Heat organization. I said at some point they were going to show the fact that they were a play-in team. That was going to show at some point against some team, and at some point within the playoffs, it's going to show that they were a play-in team. And I think now you're seeing a little hit. They were playing good, but you're seeing hiccups in their game and certain things that's not going their way because they don't have the talent to. I don't think they have the talent to compete with the Celtics.
And yes, and I think from recent memory, I don't have the stats in front of me, but every Game 7 I can remember in basketball, the most talented team has won every time.
In a Game 7.
In a Game 7, I don't remember LeBron James losing a Game 7. I could be wrong.
No, he never won a game. Never lost a Game 7. No, he did.
Which one?
But he wasn't the talented team when he went to not in the finals. When they played the Boston Celtics, and when he 07. No, was that 07? That wasn't 07. No, because he went. It was 06.
Did they lose in 6?
06. They lost in. I think it was 07. They won 7 games. I think that one.
Okay.
And LeBron went for 45, but Paul Pierce had 47 or some shit like that.
But the most
talented team won. Because they had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce at that time. So yeah, they won the joint.
I normally in Game 7, I normally go with the most talent. Who got the most talent on the floor? And to me, Jimmy Butler may be. I don't think Jimmy Butler is better than, let's say, Jaylen Brown. That's me personally. I'm not even gonna have a conversation between him and Jason Tatum. But we're gonna see. I will get them. I got it to my heads. They were the AC. They beat Giannis. They beat a tough New York Knicks team. They were up 3-0 against the super talented Celtics. But like I mentioned before, nothing makes me more happy. Seeing Jimmy Butler go down.
So let me explain it to y'all, man. And I've explained this in my videos before. why me and Melvin, and maybe we shouldn't be taking it up with Jimmy, but I feel like Jimmy leaned into it. When Jimmy was with the Chicago Bulls, he started to emerge at the time that Derrick Rose had got his injuries. At that time, the Chicago media were pissed off at Derrick Rose for a lot of reasons. They wanted him to come back and play immediately. They felt like he can come back and play, that he needed to be playing, even though he said he wasn't feeling right. They started to call him dumb, and the media started talking about him and poking holes with him because a lot of people don't know this. The Chicago South Side people talk about the South Side with disdain. They don't like the Chicago public school kids and all of that. Derrick Rose exhibits the inner city Chicago kid, even though he's an introvert, right? He's a city kid, city boy, Chicago born and raised. They wanted him to come back immediately. He didn't come back when they wanted him to. They said, fuck you, right? Jimmy Butler started playing well. They started to tear Derrick down in order to lift Jimmy up, saying it's Jimmy Butler, the second best player, the second best Chicago Bull since Michael Jordan. What the fuck? How, when D Rose was MVP, the first All-Star we had since Michael Jordan left here.
The only player to win NBA MVP and still be eligible to play college basketball.
That shit crazy. Was 22 years old, still eligible to play college basketball when he won MVP. Youngest MVP ever. But the media started to trash D Rose in favor of Jimmy Butler, who had the blind side story. You know, he had that they loved that coveted blind side story. And I ain't gonna lie, you can get mad if you want to. It was the white savior story. People loved and were attracted to that whole thing with with him being brought in by the white family, took him in and all of that. He listened to Taylor Swift, which is more palatable to individuals who grew up outside of the south side of Chicago, maybe north siders and stuff. He dresses like a cowboy. He's from Tomball, Texas. He dresses like a cowboy and all of that. That whole little image is more palatable to a lot of white media. They thought they digested. They felt like that was more digestible. And so they tried to thrust Jimmy to the forefront and shit on D Rose.
He also drinks ridiculous beer and listens to horrible country songs. Now, I love country music, but his taste is trash. And